Hi, everyone. We are so happy that you are joining us today here for our webinar, Play Your Way to Proficiency, all about literacy games in the classroom. I am happy that you are here. You are some radical educators, and I say that because it is the middle of the summer and you are here. You're highly invested in education, getting these students reading. It's an honor to be in your presence. So thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to have fun because learning to read is absolutely fun. My name is Jenny Kier. I'm a literacy consultant at Reading Horizons, and I live on the Texas coast. So I just wanted to introduce myself, give you a little bit of background here. I've been in the classroom, and I've also been with Reading Horizons as a facilitator and a coach, and now as a consultant. I am here with my beautifully brilliant friend, Miss Francine Lawson, and I will turn it over to her to introduce herself.
Well, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. I am an educator, just like you, from the sunny state of Florida, and I'm super excited to be here with you today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Francine. Francine's going to be my partner in crime with all of these little games. We're going to have fun today. So again, thank you for being here. If you're watching this on a recording, thank you for taking time to do that as well. First thing I want to mention is that the American Academy of Pediatrics says play is not frivolous. It's brain building. I can think of so many times when I've told my students, stop playing around, and then I think back, I'm like, oh my gosh, we've got to be social. We've got to talk to one another. They are learning. Everything they're doing right now as children involves learning. They're building that brain matter. So why not play? They're going to be playing around anyway. So why don't we kind of corral that and put it into literacy games? Games aren't just for playing around. We're going to be building our ability to read at the same time. So let's talk about the history of games. Why do we even have them and why do we play them? Social connection. Let's get together and play some games, right? Entertainment. We all like to be entertained, have fun, gather with our friends. Strategy and competition. If you've ever played Monopoly or Ticket to Ride, lots of strategy and huge competition there. Survival. What about archery? Those stemmed from survival, right? And we created games out of them. And then expression of culture and identity. What about like Parcheesi and Mancala? Those came from Africa and India, and it's really an expression of culture, and it's still going strong today. So lots of reasons of the history of games or why we played them. But let's, as I said, corral those thoughts about games and the excitement around them and pour it into reading instruction. We can practice literacy skills. So many skills in the English language that we can practice when we do that. Phonemic awareness. Are we hearing those sounds that our graphemes represent? Letter correspondence, sound correspondence, digraphs and blends, and high frequency words. Probably so many more things we could focus on, but these are just some examples of what we can drive into our games and have students learning at the same time that they're having fun. So, why are we playing these reading games in the first place? First of all, we want to reinforce literacy skills. Let's say we've gone through that gradual release of responsibility. We had a review. I showed them what we're going to be learning. We practiced it together. They showed me that they could do it on their own. Let's reinforce application. Let's extend that application into a game. So let's reinforce reading, literacy skills, reading skills. Maintain motivation. I want to stay motivated. I can't be stuck in my chair learning all the time. Let's bring in some fun to maintain motivation. And maybe they'll say, you know what? We did this instruction. Mrs. Lawson, are you going to let us play that game again? And she'll say, yeah. And they are so excited. Foster success. When they are successful in playing games, they are going to increase their confidence. And when we have confidence, confident children, it's a beautiful thing. They're ready to go on to the next step. And we know reading builds on itself. So we have to maintain that success and that confidence in our students. All right. I know what you're thinking. I don't have time to make all of these pieces, and then I have to laminate them, and then I have to bring them home, and my spouse has to cut them out, and then everybody's mad. No, we don't have to do all those things. We don't need a whole lot of pieces. We don't need a whole lot of parts. No boards. We're going to try not to laminate. Laminating is a good thing with younger students, but you don't always have to do it. And glue is everywhere, right? Games also don't have to equal chaos. I'm not asking you to play tag within your classroom boundaries. We can be quiet and organized and calm and still have fun. And a lot of these reading games, they don't require a whole lot of prep. Some of them require nothing at all. So let's get going on these because they're really exciting. But first, we need to know, when can I play these games? I am so busy during the day. I know you are. I can remember being so busy in the day where you barely got a chance to eat your lunch, right? It's funny that there are quite a few transitions that happen during the day that are perfect for playing games. In the morning before the bell rings, I would always have students coming in, bringing their breakfast, eating, hanging out. Let's take time to play some games. During a cleanup activity, lining up for lunch. A lot of times when we're transitioning, lining up for lunch, on our way to the playground, on our way to the library, all of these great things. These are times when we can play these games. Sometimes our students are stuck taking long exams, especially in the spring if they are third grade. We all understand that. Let's take a brain break, right? End of day, I would have bus riders coming in to wait in my classroom until their bus was called. This is a great time. It was a perfect time for me to grade papers. I'm not going to lie, but it is also a wonderful time to play games. And dismissal lines, we can play quick games that don't require a whole lot of prep. So moving on, let's talk about this first game. This first game is called 1, 2, 3, super simple. And guess what? You don't need anything. So we're going to practice phoneme isolation by identifying a consonant or a vowel sound placement within a word. So where is it? Is it in place 1, 2, or 3? Guess what you need? Hands. If you have a student with limb difference, we're just going to have a way for them to indicate place value of a sound. So maybe a little chit, or they can just tell you the place value, something like that. Everybody can play this. So for example, I'm going to say tag, and then a student is going, oh, and then I'm going to hold up 2 fingers. So tag, and that means I want the second phoneme. And my student, Francine, is going to say,
Ah.
perfect, t, ag, ah, that is our second phoneme. Or we can flip it. I can say tag, ah, and Francine is going to hold up the number 2 because that is the second phoneme. So you can play either way. One bit of advice here. If you teach one way, stick to that for especially kinder, maybe first grade, stick to that for a semester and then introduce the other way so that they don't get too confused. So let's try this with Francine real quick. In Reading Horizons, we use the initial bigram. It's the first consonant vowel that is at the beginning of a word, and we call that a slide. So, and it's a short vowel. So if I say the slide fi, I, Francine is going to hold up 2. Excellent, because I is that second phoneme that she heard in fi. All right. Now, if I say the word pit, she's going to say, excellent. Yes, it's kind of hard to hear that phoneme, but p is the first phoneme. So that's what she said. All right. If I say pit, t, She's going to hold up 3. It. Excellent job, Francine. So that's pretty easy for kinder, first grade, ending in end of first grade, maybe even end of kindergarten. We can get a little more rigorous with this game. 4 or 5 phonemes should not be a problem when we play this game consistently. So I'm going to say the word lamp, and Francine is going to hold up 2 because is the second phoneme in lamp. All right, here's a hard one. Crush. Excellent. Francine calls out shh because that SH digraph, remember 2 consonants, 1 sound, that SH is the 4th sound in crush. All right, so that is 1, 2, 3. You could totally play this. I know you know how to walk backward as you're leading your class to the playground or to the library. And all you have to do is walk down the hall and say, crush, shh, and your students are silent and all they do is this. So if you play that way, it's a game. They are engaged and you are still being quiet going down the hallway. 1, 2, 3. Cool game. All right. Scramble. Scramble is a lot of fun. It is not as quiet as 1, 2, 3. So here we're practicing short vowel slides again to reinforce left to right reading and practice fluency and articulation. Okay, so what do you need? A handy dandy fly swatter. I think Francine brought hers today. All right, and I will mention that the Dollar Tree right now, the $1.25 tree, has the cutest fly swatters and they have little flowers stuck on them. So they're kind of cute for the classroom if you want to go grab some of those. All right, all you need is a fly swatter, a whiteboard, or chart paper, projection, some way to write, and then 2 fly swatters. Here's a picture from my classroom a few years ago of students playing Scramble. So you're just going to call out a slide. You could call out a word. You could call out a letter sound, a letter name, anything like that. And the first one to swat and hold gets the point. You can play to 3 or 5. It does not matter. So Francine and I are going to play. I'll be the teacher and I'm going to call out the slide. Remember, it has a short vowel and she's going to scramble to swat it. All right, here we go. Francine, your slide makes the sound cla, cla. Good job, Francine. Excellent. See, she swatted C-L-U, cla. All right, your next one is fa, fa. She's gonna swat it. Good deal. All right, she swatted the F-A. Remember, we wanted that short vowel. Perfect. And I know some of us in our adult brains were thinking, that's fey. But remember, this is a piece of a word. It's just the initial bigram. It's that consonant and first vowel that's going to finish out a closed syllable. All right. The next one I want Francine to swat is slaw. Slaw. Excellent. Good job. Okay, this is a lot of fun for students. They can play round robin. It goes really fast and they enjoy it quite a bit. All right, that is Scramble. Moving on, let's talk about Gee, my name is Gary. I played this a lot. I'm dating myself as an 80s baby, played it in the car, on trips. And however, I did not know I was increasing my awareness of phonemes, right? Especially those initial phonemes. So, G, my name is Gary. You need either alphabet cards or alphabet dice. And the cards will be available for you at the end of this webinar that you can go ahead and download and make your own. Or online, you can get these little dice if you need them a little bit bigger for other students. They do come in a couple of different sizes, so you could do that. Okay, G, my name is Gary. Let's talk about an easy way to do this for kinder when you are just starting out with your letter instruction. So if a student rolls the die and gets the letter M, They would say M, my name is Maria, and I like macaroni. Perfect. Let's say we want to boost up the rigor for this. Maybe older grades or end of kindergarten, they're going to roll the die. They get a B. My name is Byron. My friend's name is Betty. We come from Brazil and we like balloons. So you can do anything you want here. Just know that when you open it up to young children, let them say whatever they want. You're going to get whatever they say. So walk around, monitor, make sure this doesn't go awry. And one thing I really love about these dice that I showed you is that if you can see the font here, I don't know if that's backward for you, but that A, be careful when you're purchasing things and putting fonts in front of students because this is the A that you teach them to write. So we don't want to put that curly Q A in front. I'm sure it has a fancy name, but we don't want to put that one in front of them because a lot of times they're like, I don't know that letter. And we say, what are you talking about? It's an A. The one here in name and Gary, that's the one I'm talking about. When we're teaching students to read and write, this is not the one we teach them, so we don't need to put this in front of them. So just something to be cognizant about when you purchase things or you print things out and choose a font, make sure it has the correct G and the correct A. All right. That is G, my name is Gary. We're going to try this with Miss Francine. I'm going to give her the letter. Let me roll the die. All right, Francine, you have the letter P.
All right. My name is Paula, and my friend's name is Peter, and we come from Pennsylvania, and we like pickles.
Awesome. I love that. Very cool. Easy enough. You can put students in pairs. You can have four. They can share the die. All kinds of opportunities and options for this game. All right. Let's move on to detective. This one is just adorable and fun to watch. Actually, we'll talk about a way to do this for younger students and also a way to do this for older students. It maintains dignity for those who are still on their journey to becoming a proficient reader. So detective, we help students identify sounds, letters, orthographic patterns that they've been taught. So they will need a book, any book, or a newspaper article, or a magazine, anything like that. And then if you want, sometimes you can find online tiny little cheap magnifying glasses. It kind of makes the whole detective experience become real and little notepads, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to have text in front of them, whether it be their library book or a passage. And then we're going to ask students to look for the skill they're currently learning. So if you just taught the CH digraph, they're going to find it. We don't need them to be able to read it right off the bat. It's okay. If you have students that can, beautiful. If you have students who aren't there yet, go ahead. If they need extra practice or extra support, go ahead and say, I just want to see if you can find the CH. I bet you can do it. And they're going to go through, and once they find the CH, have them write down in their little notebook, what word? Was it chip? Was it chop? Any word they find, they're being a detective, and then they're going to write it down. For our older students, maybe newcomers or someone who is just still struggling to learn to read, we can ask them to do the same thing. Don't give them a magnifying glass. And we want to call that skill scan. We're just going to scan for those skills we've just learned, okay? So if we learn CH digraph, I want you to look at this text, write down every word you find that includes that CH digraph. So that's something they can do as well. And now I want you to try. I'm going to give you a text and we're going to look for vowel, consonant, E words, okay? All right, I'm going to give you 15 seconds in the chat. Write down, go ahead and chat every time you find a VCE word. Are you ready? Go. All right, what are we seeing here? Oh, I see Babe. Someone's coming in. What do you see? Oh my gosh, safe. What do you see, Francine?
You see bite and poke.
Oh, y'all are so fast. Gabe,
Yes, they
name.
are
Oh my
killing
gosh,
it.
someone had a whole don't knows. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
These are some GT students online here. Y'all are so fast. Okay, awesome. Good deal. So that's detective, and you are all experts at detective, I must say. All right, we are moving on. And if you were counting, there are 15 VCE words in here. So if you got 15, kiss your brain, give yourself a pat on the back, all those great things. All right, 2 thumbs up. All right. As we move through, we are going to talk about the blends game, okay? The blends game is a lot of fun. There are different ways to play it. What we're going to talk about this time will involve cards, and you'll get those at the end of the session. So the objective here is just to practice and master blends. And the way we teach blends at Reading Horizons is that blends are 2 to 3 consonants that stand together. They each keep their own sound. They must be able to begin a word. Okay, that's kind of the kicker. They must be able to begin a word. I know a lot of programs and a lot of educators teach ending blends. These are only blends that are able to begin a word because it really helps when we start dividing for syllabication, okay? So therefore we teach L blends, R blends, and S blends. We also teach W blends. There are only 2 of those. So we're just gonna focus on L, R, and S blends right now. So you will have access to blends cards. And if you don't get access to them, you can make your own. You just have to choose L, R, or S, and then you just put one of the blends on each of these cards. Try to keep them in alphabetical order. It's just easier to learn them that way. And the way we play this game is that we pair up students. Each student is going to receive a blends pack. That's not a pack of all 3 blends. It's just going to be what you're working on now. So if you're working on L blends, they'll receive a pack of L blends. If you're working on S blends, that's the pack they'll receive. All right. One partner is going to give the other all but one blend card, right? So I would hold back one blend card and I would give Francine these cards, and she's going to try to figure out which one I kept hidden from her. All right. And this is really going to help them be able to identify which one is missing as they're learning to remember these blends and remember that they must begin a word. Okay. So let's say I give Francine has the L blend pack, okay? So because we're virtual, she can't give them to me, but she is going to withhold one and show me the rest of them in alphabetical order. And I'm going to try to figure out which one she withheld. Okay, so she's going to take one away. All right, Francine, show me the remaining L blends. Let's see what you got here. Okay, I see BL, CL, GL, PL. Is there one more behind PL? I can't tell. Let's see. Oh, and SL. Okay. You know what? I don't see FL. Is FL the one you kept back?
Yes, it is.
Yeah! Woo! Victorious. Awesome. Okay, so this is fun. They get to hide that blends card. I've seen a video where a little girl she unzipped her jacket, or she had a big coat on, and she hid it in her jacket and zipped it back up. She did not want her friend cheating. All right. So I can appreciate that. All right, I have the R blends. So I am going to fan out all 7 R blends, and I am going to take one away, and then I will show these to Francine in order, or they could be on the carpet and put them down. So these are the ones that are still here.
Mmm. Let me see. Oh, I think I've got it.
Okay, which one?
I think it's the DR blend.
all the way from Florida. She knew that I had the DR blend in Texas. Good job, Francine. Awesome. So that's a fun game for our friends to play. And you know what? After you've taught all the blends and we are certain that we've assessed, not assumed, that they've mastered them, give them all 3 packs. That's fine. And they can just continue to play with each pack together and see which one they're missing. Bump up the rigor here. Take 2 blends out and see what they're missing. So lots of different ways that they can integrate and options to play this. Awesome. All right, so we've talked about 1, 2, 3, where they are isolating a phoneme and trying to figure out which one. We've talked about, gee, my name is Gary. We've talked about, what else have we talked about? Oh,
Scramble.
Scramble, absolutely. We've talked about the blends game and detective. Remember detective for the younger ones and skill scan, or you can just call it a scan for the older ones because we don't want to put anything childish in front of them. Okay, so there are some options for you. There are many more options out there. We love all these literacy games. Make sure they're science-based before you teach them. All right. Moving on, I really hope that you are able to push these into your classroom. I hope that your students enjoy them. I saw firsthand my students enjoy them. I know Francine has watched her students flourish with them as well. So we hope you enjoy this. There's a little bit more here I want to show you. So thank you for being here. I know it's summer. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for taking the time. Before we wrap up, I want to give you a couple ways that you can learn more about Reading Horizons. And the second way, super, super cool for our teachers. This is really exciting. So first of all, admin, if you're looking for a solution for your school or district, just answer yes to the question on the screen, and our team is going to reach out to you. If you're watching this as a recording, so you're not watching it live, you won't see the poll question, but if you're interested in contacting Reading Horizons, just send over an email to info@readinghorizons.com and someone will reach out to you. This is the cool thing, teachers. If you are a teacher and you want to start using Reading Horizons in your classroom this summer, if you're teaching summer school, year-round school, or even next fall, we're offering a free access to a light version of the Reading Horizons K-3 product suite. So this is actually huge. I use this in the classroom. I know Francine has. It's just unbelievable. So scan the QR code if you want to try that free access. Click Start Your Free Trial button, and it takes less than a minute to sign up. Thank you for being here. From me, Jenny Kier at Reading Horizons, and Francine, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
You are an amazing student. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and we'll see you soon.